A lot of religious people seem to believe that atheists hate God. I hear this pretty often as an atheist. I hate God. Why else would I deny God? I can't speak for all atheists, but if religious people believe that, it seems to me that not many of them are talking to atheists about religion. Because, in my experience with atheists, and I've had experience with them from coast to coast, atheists don't hate God. We just don't believe in God, and this is an important difference. I'm sure that most of the people watching this right now don't hate Darth Vader or Harry Potter. Oh, you might dislike the message of the art that contains these characters, and you might hate the Star Wars movies or the Harry Potter books. But the actual characters themselves, I'm betting that you don't hate them much individually as people. After all, they aren't people. It's the same way with us about God. We don't hate God. We don't believe there's a God to hate. We see the Christian God, and all gods, as literary characters, not terribly different from Harry Potter or Darth Vader, save to the extent that the myths about Jesus and Jehovah have influenced our culture. And to be honest, lots of atheists are fascinated with the Christian God and Jesus. They spend a large amount of time studying them, learning about ancient Near East religions. They don't do it in the same way as Christians do, which is to study the Bible and seek religious revelation. The study tends to be more historical, cultural, literary, and archaeological. Atheists study Christianity in the context of other religions at the time, and honestly, we tend to talk on and on about the similarities between Christianity and older religions like the worship of Tammuz or Osiris, Dionysus, and Mithras, or the way that specific Christian rites such as baptism were practiced for centuries in the area. Or God as a literary character, and not just in the Bible, but in other literary works, including other religious works as well, like the Quran, as well as trying to figure out what early followers of Jesus and late Second Temple period Jews actually believed, and so we'll study stuff like the Nag Hammadi Library or the Dead Sea Scrolls. So, far from hating God, most atheists are absolutely fascinated by God. We just don't believe that God, any God, is real. So, why are we angry, and what are we angry about? Because I think that we all know that atheists are a little bit angry at religion at times. But it's religion that we're angry with, though, not God. We aren't even particularly angry with most people who are religious. I assure you, most atheists are very able to see that most religious people are good neighbors, moral people, hardworking, intelligent, etc., etc. But really, there are only a few atheists that aren't occasionally driven to being purple in the face with anger over religion. First, we get angry at the way religion is used to manipulate people. That people like Jerry Falwell, Pat Robertson, Fred Phelps have large congregation, huge stores of wealth, and a lot of social prestige which they use to try to force their religious beliefs on other people's, on us. Falwell, Robertson, and Phelps would all gladly make things like abortion, homosexuality, and divorce illegal and demand that everyone be forced to live their lives according to the dictates of fundamentalist Christianity. This very much angers us because we think that it would be wrong for Christians or Muslims or any people of any religion to come into our houses and tell us who we can sleep with and why, or who we can associate with and why, and what we're allowed to do with our bodies. It would be just as wrong for atheists to come to your church and try to dictate to you the terms of your faith. So I think there's some justification for that anger. Second, and this is equally important to most atheists, is we get sort of, attacked by Christians. Very recently, for example, Dinesh D'Souza, a Christian conservative, has publicly said that atheists are indifferent to the deaths at Virginia Tech. Can you imagine how much that hurts us personally? We were, as much as anyone else, shocked and horrified at the senseless murders at Virginia Tech. To be publicly ridiculed for not having been there is as vicious attack against us as any I can think of. And we face that kind of attack all the time. We are routinely called immoral, vicious, cruel, hateful, and unfortunately it's publicly religious people who do this. It's loudly religious people who do this. So it's very easy for atheists to be angry, not only at those who attack us, but those who remain silent while we are attacked, and we often see that as religious people everywhere. So I hope this tells you why atheists don't hate God and why we're sometimes angry with religion. Also, you should stop by my website, chrisbradleywriter.com, and check out my normal blog, my stories, and learn more about me and my projects. Thank you very much for listening.